Hey guys, today I'm in my laundry room. Here's my Samsung dryer. It's quite a few years old by now, but it's been a trooper. I've been maintaining it, keeping it clean, replacing the rollers and the belt for the drum and all that. But now it has a new problem. Drying my clothes and I get a T0 error message. What is that and how do I fix it? Well, basically, it means one of the temperature sensors in the system has it's not working like it ought to, or there is some issue with the system. It could be that the vent is clogged up to the outside, so check that and check all the internals. I've already done that. I've cleaned the entire system. I've cleaned the exposed sensors and all that, and the issue still occurs. So one of the sensors must be bad. These are really cheap. There's like 3 or 4 in there, and I was able to get all of these from a part supplier for, it was like $15 or something. It was really cheap. They're not fancy. So let's get cracking. We're going to take this thing apart, and I'll show you how to replace them. Alrighty, the first thing we're going to do after we get our helper cat, everybody has to have a helper cat, is unplug the power and remove the vent here so we can take this and move it out into an area here that we can work on. So let me do that real quick and we'll come right back. All right, now each dryer is going to be different in its disassembly. This one I have to start by removing these 2 screws, and then this entire thing just slides back and lifts off. I also highly suggest, as you're dismantling things, you take the screws and put them back where they came from so you don't have to figure out what screw goes where. It only takes a second and it can save you a lot of trouble. Right, Helper Cat? This is Biscuit, by the way. Say hi, Biscuit. All right, next thing I need to do is start getting this front panel off. And as you can see, I have 4 screws to remove, and this will tilt forward, and I have some connectors to remove inside there, so I'm going to do that next. Now, if yours is like this one, when I tilt that panel forward, these connectors plug in this way instead of pulling out this way. So I actually have to remove the screws, pull this off so I can get to the connectors. It's a bit backwards from what I think it ought to be, but it's real quick to do. All right, screws are out. This is leaning forward. Here's my cable. There is a clip somewhere. Nope, it just pulls right out carefully. And then this entire thing just lifts right off, and I can set it aside. All right, next thing I need to remove is this panel. And don't forget to remove your ground wire. And there's probably going to be clasps on the back of this that hold the wires in place. Like this one right here is going to have little holders in the back. Kitty's inspecting the inside of the drum, aren't you? Is it clean in there? Is it looking good? So I'm just going to take this off and set it aside. Remember, put your screws back in their places as you take them out so you'll know where they go when you get ready to put it back together. All right, that cover is removed. Next thing I'm going to do is remove this piece, get it out of the way. There's a screw there, 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 and there to remove. And then this just pulls off at the bottom, and it kind of slots up in at the top. So I just pull this off, set it aside. That gets your blower motor available and open too. The back side of that motor is the pulley that the belt attaches to for the drum. So the first thing, we're going to get this out of the way, and then we're going to come back and remove the 4 screws here that hold this front plate in, that holds your drum in place. So I'm going to get both of those taken off, and we'll be right back. All right, now we have the entire front of the dryer open. In this kit that I have, there are 3 of the sensors, and I'm wondering, one of the ones I need, 2 of them are right here. This one right here may be the one that's actually going bad, and unfortunately I don't think that's in this kit. Does not look like it, so I may end up having to take this apart and replace that one later on. But these, like I said, were really cheap. As soon as I can find the price, I'll link it here for you. and we'll replace these. 2 are here and 2 are back there. Those I could get to, but it's easier to replace the pull the drum. Now to do that, if I look back in there, you need to know your belt's routing. See if I can get my phone back in here so I can show you that. Okay, there is, if you can see it, the pulley. The belt comes down off of the left side, loops around that tensioner, down over to the motor, and then back up to the right side. So all I've got to do is get in here with my hand, push that tensioner up, and pull the belt off. Getting it back in is going to be the hard part. Let's see if we can do this. Okay, got you set up so that you can see what I'm doing here. But basically, that tensioner that I showed you, I'm going to reach around in there, push it this way, okay, there's a spring on the bottom of it that tensions it. Remove the belt, and then I can lift the whole drum out. So I will reach in with one hand. I might could just do it with one hand, I don't know. Pull up. Kind of flying blind here. Make sure I'm grabbing the right thing. So you follow the belt down. Oh, there we go. I got it. Instead of pushing up, it actually pushes over. And then once I get it pushed over, I can remove the belt. Gently let the tension off of it because that spring will pop off. See, like I said, even I've done this a couple of times and it's still something you got to play around with. The belt must still be caught on something there. Yep, it is. And the whole thing comes right out. All right, now that we have easy access to this, by the way, is that tensioner. See, it pulls this way, and there's a spring on it down on the bottom. Make sure this is a good time to make sure everything here is clean, especially your blower motor and all the fins and everything. Just get in there and pick out the fuzz and clean it. Now, this is pretty tight space. You can't get a regular screwdriver in here. This is where a simple 1/4-inch ratchet with a 1/4-inch socket, and just put your screwdriver bit in it. You can get into all these places pretty easily. So I'm going to start matching these up here. Hang on, let me grab them out of the package. All right, the kit I have has 3 pieces instead of 4. That thermistor there I might need also. This one goes here. This one goes here. And this one goes here. Oops, sorry, can't see it. So I'm going to take the screws out first and then just move the plugs over to the new one and put that one back in first. And then we'll come back. All right, one down. Got that new one in. Here's the old one sitting right here. It is a bit fiddly getting in here to get that bottom one in, but it's no problem getting it in. Just take your time. So now we're going to move on to this one. Remove the top and bottom screws. I'll move our plugs over to the new one, and we'll go from there. There should not be a difference in how these are oriented as far as I know. It is a resistor, not a diode or anything, so it shouldn't matter which way these goes as far as I'm aware. All right, we have those two replaced. Now just for this one. And this actually, you can remove this screw and this whole assembly comes off right there. That comes loose pretty easily, I do believe. Well, maybe not. But we can get these disconnected here and get to these a lot easier, though. I can get to those with this and just zip those right out. So that's only going to take a couple of minutes to replace. All right, that is replaced there. So I am going to take the three that I removed and hold on to them just as a precaution. That's always a good idea. Set those up above me. Clean up everything. Now is a great time to inspect these rollers. These bearings have a tendency to get eaten away, basically, and they won't spin properly. Mine are new. Even so, you can hear that has a little bit of a noise to it. I don't know if you really want to lubricate these either, because I think stuff is going to stick to the lubrication if you do. Maybe a light oil of some sort, but those are supposed to be brass bearings. And I thought these were supposed to be ball bearing as well. I do not believe they are. So those have a tendency to get worn out. And there are two on the front panel that I removed that looks like that you know, holds the drum in. And the drum basically just rides on this. So make sure all of this surface is cleaned up while you've got everything apart. Only takes a few minutes and a damp rag to clean it off most of the time, and you're usually going to be in pretty good shape. This drum, when you put it back in, is labeled front, by the way. There's a label right here that you might not be able to see too well called front. So make sure that's to the front. There we go. The lip of the drum sits in those rollers in the back. Kind of supports itself. I'm going to get the belt reattached on the bottom and then start reassembling everything. All right. Now comes the moment of truth. Will it run? It runs! Yay! So now I've got a load of clothes I'm going to put in there, and we're going to give it a good shakedown. But it's a bit warm down here in the basement, and I am wearing a sweatshirt too, so that probably wasn't the greatest idea. But we've got our dryer fixed here, and like I said, I'll link the cost for you, but I think I got these sensors on Amazon for like 15 bucks. It was not expensive, and an hour's worth of work, and I'm back in business. So this has been a great dryer. They're very easy to repair. The parts are very easy to find, and they're very easy to get to. These things aren't that difficult to take apart. So if you've got any mechanical skills whatsoever, you can do this. Instead of going out and spending $1,000 for a dryer, spend a few bucks on the parts and just replace the part that's broken, because the internals of these things are designed to work a very, very long time. Even if the drum with the felt strips wore off, I don't think a drum's very expensive even. So, you know, you can replace the parts on this pretty easily and probably keep this thing going forever. So I'm going to get my clothes washed. I got other stuff to do. It's almost Christmas. I've still got shopping left. So we'll talk to you soon. Oh, hey, this is future me. Remember when I said I might have to replace that other little part in here, this thermistor? This is what it looks like right here. Um, yeah, I should have trusted my instincts. I got a load, I'll show you at the end here, that was good. And then I got the T0 error message before, which I should have realized. I should have followed my instinct. I think more points more toward the thermistor here than the other components. And if I would have looked a little bit harder, there was a kit out there that had all four of these pieces. Instead of $11 for the kit with 3 parts, guess how much the one with all 4 was? 12. Just $1 more. So I'll try to link that. I did end up getting the OE Samsung replacement thermistor for this for $7. So my total parts cost on this is still only $18. Not bad. But for the purpose of this video, the title is probably going to say fix your Samsung dryer for 12 bucks, because if I had paid attention, I could have got the kit for 12 bucks. It had all 4 parts to begin with, and I'd have just been done. Thankfully, all I've got to do is take the lid off again with the help of my friendly kitty cat, Biscuit, and take the front panel off, or the dials and stuff, the instrument panel, and then the front, and that's it. It's right here. I don't have to take all the other stuff off, so it literally took me 5 minutes to get to this point. So, anywho, just wanted to let you guys know, if you're going to replace these, just do them all. For an extra $1, it's stupid not to. And there we have it. It successfully says end. It finished drying my load of clothes and did its normal little beepy beepy, making a nice little tune at the end like it's supposed to. Open it up. Yep, everything feels nice and dry in there. There's my thingy I gotta get rid of. And successful so far. So not a bad way to spend a an hour in the morning that it took me, and that was me doing the video and all that kind of stuff, and just taking my time doing this so I could show you guys. It's not difficult to do. This is such an easy job, and these dryers are so easy to work on. Don't be afraid to give it a try. If yours isn't working, for like 15 bucks, I keep saying that. I hope that's right. I'll post, like I said, I'll post the cost up. But for such a small amount of money, take a chance. If it doesn't work, you've lost 15 bucks. That's it. At least you tried. And you may get it right. And if so, the feeling of accomplishment is going to be amazing. So I've got a working dryer again. I've got another load of clothes I got to do, and then I'll be caught up. So hope you guys... it is the weekend before Thanksgiving here in Southwest Michigan, where I'm at. I hope you guys have a beautiful weekend and a great Thanksgiving, and I hope you got something out of this. Thanks, and have a great day.